So first things first, I want to say thank you very much for coming. Obviously it's a good opportunity just to have a chat, or for you guys to ask questions in terms of where we're at and moving forward. I'd like to obviously start by just sort of saying, listen, I'm not happy with where we are. We want to be better. We want to be successful. I want to be successful personally. I said to you at the start, I have ambitions. I want to be a manager. I want to be a successful one. And you have to obviously get results to be successful. But the situation was the last 2 seasons. I always thank the board in terms of, first of all, giving me the opportunity and my staff to run this fantastic club. The 2 years that the 2 seasons that we've done so far have been a success for the club. Winning the cup, being in 10th, 12th position places, it's been a success. It's been great, and we've worked hard for that. With that comes obviously the financial point of view as well. The club has backed myself in terms of giving me the funds to be competitive, and I've believed every game that we've played in. All right, okay, there's a couple of games that I could probably know that we haven't been. We've been competitive in every game, and that's what I've said in the first place when I first come. We're going to be competitive. We won't be teams that get rolled over. In the past, where we have been rolled over in games, many a game I've been a part of it as well, and I've seen it, and we've been around the bottom and have been struggling, and I like to think that we have changed the tide in terms of where the club has been. Now we've dropped back a little bit. Certain reasons, being completely transparent, the club is not in the same place in terms of where we were the last 2 years financially. So again, when I sat down with the board, we're not in a position to really push on from where we were last season. So we have to make decisions in terms of having a smaller squad. I can have my 18 to 20 players when we play Saturday, Tuesday, to have a squad that I can rotate, and players that I believe really, truly can really, compete. When I spoke to the boys, once we had this conversation, my priority was to get the 11/12 players I believe that were successful in that last run of games towards the end of the season, especially that 11 that finished off against South Shield. So you had the likes of Tonksy, you had Jimmy, you had Al Ray, you had Burnsy. I know the likes of Alex Kwame and people like that have disappeared. Those players that we've mentioned to start off with, okay, Jimmy gets injured, does his knee, and he's out for the season now. Last game of pre-season. Burnsy, who's been obviously ever present, we know about him. Unfortunately, the game against Nantwich, back end of the season, went into the advertising board, slipped under the advertising board, banged his knee, and it's aggravated him since. So again, he is one of those people that I absolutely love and adore. He will run his absolute plums off. He will die for us. He will die for me. He will absolutely run himself into the ground. However, he is not fully fit in terms of him trying to be at his best. So again, he's one that's playing at 50%. Al Ray now has got our captain. God, I'd love to see him playing alongside Simon, but unfortunately, Al has got a cartilage tear. He needs an operation now. So again, waiting on the dates, whether he'll be available at all, not too sure at the moment. No matter what we say about Mr. Tonks, okay, we wanted him here. I wanted him here. It was clear at the start to say that I wanted him as part of the squad, no matter how it sort of finished. He has gone to a league above, but he was a big thing. He was a big part of what we did as a club in terms of putting pressure on teams. Yes, with his throw, with his quality, with his goals. He scored, 15 goals, 10 goals in 2 seasons. That's a lot of goals. That's a lot of goals gone from our team, okay, and what he does. So his quality, Jimmy's quality, what he adds in terms of left-sided centre-half, and the way he plays, and the way he plays for us, and the way he defends, it's a big loss. Al Ray, captain, his leadership, it's a big loss in terms of that as well. And again, we are in a position where we have to have a smaller squad. So again, with the you got to have a bit of luck with that as well as quality. We haven't had that little bit of luck. So again, with the injuries, with Ty as well with his hamstring, I think he's only started 2-3 games with his hamstring, in and out. We had obviously Cam, right or wrong, got himself sent off, so we have to go another way for a couple of games. So we've had to juggle. I'm not here to give excuses. I'm here to give you the facts in terms of where we are and what's happening. So I brought in Jake in midfield in my eyes, thinking, you know, again, wanting that bit of muscle, wanting that bit of stability in that midfield. Again, thinking as well, we have a smaller squad. I might have to. It's the what ifs. So as a manager, and so you know, it's the what if. So what if someone gets injured at centre? Do we have the cover? What if someone gets injured at left back or right back? Do we have the cover there? This, that, and the other. Same in midfield. Same as centre forwards. Trying to get that sort of balance if you can with an 18/19 player squad that we have. With Jimmy going out, Jake's dropped into centre back. Again, with Burnsy sort of struggling, we have to go into the sort of loan. It's something that I haven't really sort of done since I've been here, but you know, we haven't had a choice. It's an opportunity for younger lads to come in. It is a cheaper option as well in terms of financial point of view, and we have to give them opportunities to play. So, you know, in terms of the questions asked, and I've listen, I cannot tell you how hard myself, Dell, Andy, JP, Carl, goalkeeper coach now, trying to speak to players to encourage them to come into Stafford Rangers. So Stafford's a funny club as well. So I'm going to say this as well. When I first come to the club, in terms of as a manager, and you sit down with players and you speak to them about coming to Stafford Rangers, this is what we're going to do, this is what we want to do, this is where we want to be, this is where we want to go. Okay. First of all, with the player, the financial point of view. Okay. There's the first question. Can we compete with the other teams in our league and even the league below? Okay. At this moment in time, where we are now, we cannot compete with teams below us in terms of we've lost to players below us through money. And the difficulty is as well, is this is a funny club in terms of location. So we have people coming down, travelling northern. You all asked the question about people coming down. We rely on car schools as well for our sort of encouragement to bring them in. Is this, listen, we have car schools, we have 4 players coming down, you'll only drive once, so again, for petrol money and this, that and the other, you're clumping together so you don't have to pay too much out of your pocket for petrol. We have lads in terms of, when I've spoken to Midlands players from, okay, let's say Stourbridge or Telford or whatnot, they actually don't want to come into this league because they're scared of the Tuesday nights of getting back in late, really late, and they've got work in the morning. We've all got work in the morning, but that's why they don't want to come. So with Stafford, it's like it's too far to travel down towards Stafford. We don't want to come into Stafford because we're scared of the Tuesday night games. So we're constantly fighting to sort of encourage players to say no, but we're doing this, or we could do that. So it is honestly a funny club in terms of location of where we are. These are the little situations that we have, and this is what we're fighting. So again, I still believe, and you may have all the questions or whatever, and you may think, I believe that I can get us out of shit. Alright, I believe so. Okay, I believe that if we're working with younger players, I believe that I'm a good manager, I'm a good coach, I'm a good person to speak and help the younger lads, to help them understand why they're in the game and what they need to do and the reasons, and like you say, it's the psychological point of view of getting to the next level. Okay, because again, I have a young boy. I say young boy, I've got 2 boys. Tyler, 17, he's actually going to Nantwich today on loan. So I'm actually going to go and watch him afterwards and go see how he competes in terms of men's football. I have James, who's 21, who's playing for Blackburn at the moment. Went to watch him against Chelsea. It was unbelievable, to be fair. He was absolutely different class. But his mindset and his desire to get to the next level is like, I've had a taste, I'm going there. That's his mindset. So when I'm speaking to the younger boys and actually saying to them, this is what he's doing, this is the other one, this is you right now, this is where you need to go to. I can listen, I've heard, I've seen, I've coached boys that are under 14s, 15s, 16s. I've done it myself. So if I'm not the right person to help these young lads to go and kick on, I don't know who is. Because I believe I'm the best coach, best manager for these kids to try and help and push on. What they do on the pitch, okay, what they do on the pitch still, it comes down to them, that desire, that hunger, that nastiness, that bit of quality that we ask for, that still comes down to them on the pitch, okay? So again, we do our best to put out a shape, we do our best in terms of encouraging how we want to see the game played, then it's over to the boys to deliver, okay? So again, I understand it is a results-driven business, I understand it. I am not happy in terms of where we are, but I also respect and understand that certain teams are a lot better than us. Certain teams have got more quality than us, and that's fact. That is fact. But the one thing is that we are driven, I am driven to try and find the right players, and we've been constantly all week trying to find the right players, not just this week, but I'll say this week because I'm on half term, so I'm really sort of on the phone, speak to people, trying to get things sorted, trying to get us to be better and improve us as a squad, and trying to get better players than the starting 11, because that's the main thing. We've got to get players that are better than the starting 11, not just players that make up a number. We have to find players better than our squad, better than the starting 11 if we want to kick on. And it's not easy. I'm not going to like stand here and say, yeah, because if it was, we would have better players and we would be in a better place. So I just want to say from my point of view, I am trying, yes, really, really trying, and my team is really, really trying to get us better and to get better results. And listen, if it doesn't come out, and I've tried and I put my hand up and you guys still believe I'm not the right person and we haven't got the right results, again, I understand it is football. That's life. That's life. But when I listen to the comments about Ten Hag and United and all the other bits about people, we're all football people, aren't we? So we sit there and listen. The one thing that I take and the one thing that I hear between the two, the players down tool, the players don't look like they're running. The players, I'm telling you now, my players are still working hard and working hard for me, running hard, regardless of the quality or not. They are working hard for me. So I know for a fact that if you guys decide my time's done, I'll walk out of here going, I know that all my players have tried their absolute plums off for me, trying to do the right things. Whether we get it right or wrong, that's fine. But I know for a fact they are working hard for me. That team spirit out there is good. It is good. The lads come into training, they're all buzzing, they're all happy, and they all have a good go together. They all have a good go together. And as far as I'm concerned, that is something to be proud of at this moment in time. Yes, the results are not good enough. I get it. The results are not good enough. But as a team, and them trying to do the right things, I'm proud of them at this moment in time. Whoever was there at Radcliffe, the second half, the way we played against a team that's at the top, with all the finances, and I'll tell you, they're triple the amount in terms of the budget, the differences. They've got players over there that are 3 times. There's certain players they've got 3 players for their 1 wage. 2 players, and some of them are sitting on the bench. But that second half performance, even the first wasn't bad, but the second half performance gives me massive encouragement, shows the togetherness and the hunger that the lads want to try and kick on and be better. And that's what we're just saying to them. Can they keep that going against the Radcliffes? Can they keep that standard? We'll get success. We'll get success. I believe in it. But again, it's important. It's if you believe in it as well. So I've said my little bit. Again, I'm open to questions. I don't know if you want to add anything, Fernie. But listen, the floor is open. You know, and the biggest thing for me is I want us all to pull together. Regardless of if we're going to get out of it, we have to be together. So if you go out there and you're hammering the lads or whatever, I'm not saying that you are, you're not, but I'm still saying that right the way through for 90 minutes, 95 minutes, just get behind the boys. Yeah, you can come to me and tell me what I've done right and wrong. That's fair enough, that is football. But if we want to get out of the shit, it has to be together as a team, as a club. Yeah, that's from the top to the bottom. And like I say, I always thank the support from the board. I always support, thank you all the guys that volunteer and help out and trying to sort the pitch out and do all the other bits. Honestly, it has to be together for us to be successful. So again, I leave the questions and whatnot to come. But all I can say is I am hungry to be successful. I am hungry to try and turn this around, and I want to be in a safer place and be more smiles on faces than not. So.
What is capable of? Why is it struggling in the league?
Bliss, I know he's your favourite player. Listen, again, for Bliss's size and what he does, I've been a bit disappointed in terms of that aggression, that nastiness, and that little bit of, what we expect. We expect him. He's 6'4", 5". You've got to be strong. You've got to be dominant. He's got to win more of his duels. I don't think he'd done enough of it at the earlier part of the season. Radcliffe game, he was absolutely brilliant in terms of a platform to go and build off, and he's going to take that on to the next game. If he is like that, of how we expect him to be. He might be honest with himself and say, do you know what, I've not really been at it. Don't know for whatever reason, but the last 2 games he's been brilliant. So again, it's important, and again, I always go back to it about consistency. The reason why top players are top players is because they understand their strengths and weaknesses. They understand, you know, how they contribute to the team, and they're consistent. They're consistent, and that's the biggest thing we've always said about our team, trying to be more consistent. And the last 2 games, he has been different class. We do need more of that because he gives us that good platform then to go and build off. So we haven't really, to be honest, at the start of the season, even Kamen will be honest with himself, that platform to when you play up to a striker and you get hold of it, that allows the team to get up the pitch. If we cannot get hold of it and we keep giving the ball away in the final 3 areas, the front 3 players, we're always going to defend. So again, that quality to hold the ball up for us as a team to support and get up, we haven't been good enough. But the last few games, he's been very good at that.
Thank you.
Yeah, quick question. A few years ago, a group of fans, we looked at the statistics of the club, and we discovered that every time that we played more than 41 players in a season, we were either relegated or bottom 3 or 4. And that's a fact.
Right.
What worries me now is this constant churn of players. You just said yourself that this week you've been on the phone to get some more players in.
Yeah.
Now, these are your players.
Yeah.
You brought these players in that are out there, the 11, the 19 or whatever. It just worries me that the successful teams are the ones that gel.
Yeah.
Because players know who can do what, where they'll be, whatever. Does it worry you that this constant churn of players, it sort of ruins the camaraderie, ruins the, and especially loan players, just ruins that, let's say, camaraderie?
Yeah, I wouldn't say ruin the camaraderie, because again, like I said, the team spirit and the people that come in embrace what the spirit is all about. That word consistency in terms of trying not to turn players turnover, because again, I think if you look at last season, that we didn't have many players going in and out, but we've been forced to do that. Like I said to you before, with the likes of Jimmy, with the likes of Al, you know, they're players on the books that we have to try and replace and get in. We've had young lads like Kiki's just come in, he'll go back. Yes, players that have come in, but they're sort of not in the starting 11. Okay, I have tried him in the starting 11. I have tried Jack Massey in there to you know, to hopefully see if he could give us something. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. So I understand in terms of consistency is, you know, for teams to be successful, they do have, you know, you could probably pick the 11, and that comes with being fit as well and having no injury, so you can go on then, go again, go again, go again. So we haven't quite, if I'm honest with you as well, had that, because we've had a niggle, or someone else has now been injured, now I have to change it again. So it's been difficult in terms of that point of view as well, having a consistent team to say, right, you go again, and I believe that's the best team, or we're winning and we're getting results. Same again, boys, you know. So it does concern, yeah, because again, you want to have that consistency in the team. You want to have that consistent squad that you can, you know, you could trust is the word, is, you know, to trust and go out and play and perform. So, but at this moment in time, we're not quite at the level in terms of, you know, results at times have not been there, and we do have to look to say we have to change it. We can't be in a position to think it's going to change and that's it, you know, with the lads that are doing it. We're not quite there. We do need to try and look to improve the squad to give us the best possible chance. Hope that answers the...
Yeah, because I just worry that bringing a lone player in doesn't always improve the situation. You know, you say you only bring players in, they're better than the ones we've got.
Yeah.
I think recently we've seen that maybe that hasn't quite been the case.
No, and like you say, we do that in terms of, you know, we do need players in, because we have been very light for the bench and whatnot. We are very light on that front. But yeah, we are striving for that bit of quality, and we are looking, but it is that balance, isn't it? Like you say, it is that balance of I don't want players in, out. That's not what we're trying to do. We are actually trying to find the right players, if he's good enough, and say, right, you're in and you stay in. But it is a case of, with younger players, it is a little bit of a gamble, because they're not used to that men's football. They are used to just playing academy football, and then next minute they're on here. And you know, I go back to one of the comments of, you know, Jack Massey's one of his first games. We're walking off at half time down the tunnel, and he turns around and says to me, especially when he had to track I'm asking him to track his fullback who's making long runs and he's having to make 20-yard runs. He actually goes, in the academy we only have to make 5-yard runs. We don't have to make 20-yard runs. As we're walking into the dressing room, I'm like, well, this is the men's game, pal. You've got to do the runs. That's what he said to me as we're walking. They're not used to that real sort of, you know, blood and thunder, having to do the ugly side of the game. That's the difference. So sometimes, like I say, we are trying to look for young good players who are at it. Listen, Sam Bird's came in. I think he's done quite well, especially earlier part. I thought he was excellent. As young lads having a little wobble, but again, we've got to go through and help him as well, and encourage him and help him improve as a player. So, you know, we will get some right, we will get some wrong, but I get it as well. You know, we want to have that consistency. We do, but also at the same time, I won't take someone in, and if he's not at the level, still keep him, just because we want a consistent squad. So if I believe that they've got the quality, stay. If I don't believe they've got the quality, we can't keep them. Yes.
I don't want to go into the Joe situation as such.
Yeah.
Can we be assured that we will be made aware of things that are going on?
Yeah.
Not like there were so many rumours going around and it really got people's backs up.
Yeah, listen, I can't control, with Dunny in particular. Dunny's got a brother that's connected within the actual social media bit. So again, without you know, the situation happening on the Thursday, come Friday, come Saturday, you know, we got family relations and the stuff's already on the post. So in terms of controlling that, that's probably one of, in terms of we can't control everything.
I think the club was a bit late in.
Yeah, so the last week was a bit of or a couple of weeks back for the Gainsborough was a little bit of a mess. You know, Fernie was away, who normally sorts out, you know, the paperwork and signing on players. Harry, you know, bless him, absolutely tried his absolute plums off to try and get it right. We made mistakes. Players who we thought were registered ended up not being registered. You know, the communication on that front, it did fail that weekend. So again, from that point of view, it's an apology in terms of, you know, slow information coming out, mixed information coming out. From that point of view, we have spoken about it in terms of making sure, because the way it goes in non-league as well. So we will have players that either train on the Tuesday or come in on the Thursday. We had, before the Gainsborough, the Guiseley game, we had four new players that came in to train on that Thursday. So we had an opportunity to try and sign 3 of them for the game at Guiseley. So with that, we finished the training half 9 o'clock.
New game plans?
So again, with that, it always comes with time. Also, it comes with players' adaptability to do the, you know, if you're saying a different formation, and I put it to you to say, what formation would you like to see?
Well, yeah, that depends on your players. We could play 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Could be one, I would think of. There's a lot of, I'd like to see 3 at the back, but we haven't got 3 at the back at the moment.
Yeah.
It's 3-5-2. There's all sorts, but we only ever really play with 4-5-1.
Yeah.
I've not seen another formation. If we have played one, I've not noticed it.
Yeah.
And they're not doing what you tell them. But I'm not sure. We seem to be very defensive orientated. Don't let them score, rather than. And if we play attacking football, we play the ball really well on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to say, we do. The lads that we've got now play really well on the floor.
Yeah.
But because of the system-wise, we're hoofing it all the time. And then that's taking that away from us.
Okay.
That's just the way I look at it.
Yeah. Listen, again, I'm not here to. Yeah, of course. It's glass half empty, half full, isn't it? Listen, I don't want to concede goals. I've always said to them, I want to play in the opposition's half. I want to play football in the opposition's half. I want to sustain the attack. So what that means is when we're attacking and we're, you know, getting crosses in, we're getting opportunities to score. Anytime that ball clears out, I want us to pick up that next ball and I want us to play. Okay, I want us to still dominate the ball in the opposition's half. I don't want to be sort of having all the possession looking great around our own half and not going anywhere. I want us to try and score goals and create opportunities to win games of football. Always want to win games of football, okay? There's different ways of trying to win games. Sometimes I do respect, yes, we're playing against a better team. I don't believe that we're in a position to go gun-ho and go and, you know, all out because we'll get picked off. Now the reason why I do the 4, you can either do a 4-2-3-1, you can do a 4-1-2, or you can do a 4-1-4-3, whatever it is. You can mix. Basically, what I'm trying to say is definite 4 at the back. The 3 in midfield can change to a 2, or the 1 sitting, 2 attacking. It could be a flat 3 in midfield, and then you've got your front 3 as they are. Okay, so I believe, again, especially, I say no, it doesn't matter. You have a look. I'll ask you all different formations. I'll ask you about all the teams in the Premiership and stuff like that. If you've got the players, we played Macclesfield at their place, same formation, whatnot, but the difference is their players and their wide players were absolutely rapid, relentless, and when they had the ball, they made differences in the side. When we had it against them, we had Caymanos on the other side and Ty on the other, and we're getting brushed off the ball. Every time we got into that corner, we never even got across it. They just nudged us off the ball, goal kick, got into position, kicked it out, this, that and the other. They're back in shape. Whereas when they had the ball, they made differences. They made things happen. So majority of teams that we play against, play that formation. I'm not just like saying we're matching them. There might be a reason. Have a look in the Premiership and have a look at the majority of teams that like the formations in the Premiership, just as research. Because I'm actually quite happy as a coach as well. I'm still learning. I'm not trying to sort of say this is just my belief, okay? But have a look at the teams in the Premiership. Tell me some other formations. Chelsea's one, isn't it? That may play a 3, but they played a 4-4-3, the 4-2-3-1 on that Tuesday, and they're their top team out. Manchester United, Liverpool, like the shapes, the formation. Is it the formation, or is it the players?
Yeah, as you look at it, the players is obviously a big factor in everything.
Yeah.
Whatever formation you've got to play the players, doesn't fit that.
Yeah,
and at the moment, I don't know what players have we got.
Yeah. So I do believe that the quality at times have.
I believe we're better going forward than we are defending.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, yeah.
We've got to look at scoring. We're going to beat people 4-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the moment, we're trying to take them on the break.
Yeah.
As I look at it.
Yeah.
Which we can't take them on the break. We haven't got that quality.
Yeah.
We haven't got there, the physicality.
Yeah.
Our boys can't put their bodies about.
Yeah.
So we've got to play the ball on the floor, we've got to keep it away from the opposition. And to do that, we need people in all areas of the field rather than in my.
No, of course, isn't. I'm not. Yeah.
But that's just on my opinion. So we
Yeah.
can play the ball to our strengths.
Yeah.
Of the players that we have got at the moment.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. I'd love to see. Well, a good solid back 4. But
Yeah.
we haven't got a solid back 4 to pick from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just on that note, forgive me because I missed the start, I might be something you mentioned, but obviously Jimmy O'Neill got injured early doors, and we've looked to replace up front, left and right on a regular basis, but Jake's been left wanting a couple of times.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, you're right.
We've gone early doors to fill in that gap, to make it solid, so that we can build and go forward.
So the answer is trying. Like I say, we spoke to people at York. They're just, it's a no. We actually had a conversation with, Daniel Lafferty. I might as well chuck his name out there because
It's not through a lack of effort, but I just don't see it enough.
Yeah.
So Paul, when Nathan's up there, he'll win the ball, and I understand, yes, the players need to be, but there's never anybody around him, so consequently, he'll win the ball, and there's nobody there to receive it.
Yeah.
Like Joe Willis, he seems to, half the time he'll go, half the time he doesn't, but he needs to be there all the time.
Yeah.
Because if you've got your 2 midfield players, they should be able to give you the protection if the team do win it.
Yeah.
So I just think it's not the system, it's the balance of the system. So you've got Jake, that's one player out of position. You've got a right-footed player playing on the left wing, and it just weakens the team from the kick-off. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, again,
It's not the system, Matt. I think you've got the system, and I know a lot of teams use it.
Yeah.
But they tend to have players to play that position. We don't seem to have that luxury. I'm not blaming you for that.
No. Listen, like you said, the likes of Adam, like I say, a good player that's moved on and doing what he's doing. You know, we do speak to players about, you know, their preferred positions as well that they like to play. Again, those little statistics. I think actually, you know, I know with what you said about Nye, but I actually think Nye in the last few games has done really well and produced the crosses in. I agree with you in terms of when the ball's on whichever side, if it's the left hand side, the far one should be in the box to be in to score. 100%. I don't disagree with you. Midfielders should be in and around the box in terms of stepping in. That's that decision to get in the box and that timing of run to get in to score goals. That should happen. In terms of coming inverted players, you actually find as well that they can potentially have more shots at goal potentially because you can drop that shoulder and then, you know, if it's on their good foot to get shots off. The next thing you're going to say is, have we seen a lot of it? Maybe not. Eddie's had a couple, to be fair to him, since he's come in terms of having opportunities to have a strike at goal. So yes, we've had some really good sort of wingers in terms of, listen, you know, Kent's, you know, for all his efforts and everything like that, Kent's, you know, scored 8 goals and, you know, was really good in terms of running down the line. As much as, you know, we love Cuffy and, you know, with Cuffy's world in terms of what he produced and what he did. You know, we've had some good wingers in that time. Just that, like you say, that consistency, that quality, you know, to take players on to have that end product. Yeah, potentially we have been a little bit mixed. Yes, I agree in terms of, you know, with Jake, you know, filling in, he's been in there potentially a little bit too long. We are trying, as I said to you before, to try and address that. So yeah, like I say, players, we need to be better in certain areas, and if we can get better, then, you know, great. But the players, like I say, the ones that are here at this moment in time are trying their absolute pan off. They're trying to do the right things. They just need a little bit of help.
Oh, the work ethics, you know, when you go out, they don't know what shift in. I never complain about that.
Yeah.
The team just looks very imbalanced all the time. And,
yeah.
You know, with you talking at the beginning, I understand you haven't got the players or the luxury of having the players to play in an actual position. But if you've got 2 or 3 players playing out of position, don't you think it weakens the team when you get kick-off? Because that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
The team's weakened because you've got Jake at the back, he is a midfield player, he's not a defender. And like I say, you're playing a right winger on the left wing. And I'll say, you know, when you put Anderson out there, he should be in the middle. He just looks so lost. He'll run, he'll chase, but once he's trying to get it on his left foot, it goes nowhere, because you have to check putting it on his right foot. It does happen occasionally. They sometimes do get it on the right foot. But I just feel if you had a left-footed player on the left wing at this level, you'd be more successful with it.
Yeah.
But you haven't got that player. Well, you have, but I don't know why you don't play better much more.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he was a great player for us 2 years ago.
Yeah, listen, Ben's done well in terms of coming in and out the side. In terms of my decisions, it comes in within training and stuff like that as well. In terms of that real show in or the opportunities when you come on. Because I've spoken to players, if you come on and make a real impact, it makes a decision as well. But yeah, like I say, I take on board what you said.
But I think Matt's comment earlier was we're in it together. We need everybody fighting, whether it be officials, directors, players, management team, fans, whatever. We need to fight together. I'm going through a process at the moment. You know, my role as director of football, it's not just the first team. It's the 21s that were out there this morning. It's the 18s. It's the academy. It's the junior setup, which has never been right from the day I've been at the club. But we're trying to harmonise it. We're trying to bring it together. We're encouraging a lot more young kids and parents to come to this football club on a Saturday. And so, forgive me, I was away on holiday the other Saturday, but behaviour like that, we can't tolerate that. Because it puts young kids off from coming, who are the lifeblood of the football club and the parents. And we all are passionate about football. We're all desperately frustrated about results on the pitch, performances on the pitch, whatever. But that should not move into personal abuse and threatening behaviour and things of that nature. You know, I think today's been fabulous because we've all got opinions on football, and we all want, everybody in this room wants the same for Stafford Rangers, from the board to the manager to me. We want to make it a better football club. We want it to be here 10, 20 years down the line, after some of us have probably gone somewhere else to watch our football, you know, in a different ether or whatever. But, you know, we want to do things. You know, we want to talk about a 3G pitch. We want to talk about a proper junior setup. that is part of the football club, that contributes to the football club, that develops us. We're constantly looking for local talent. That's why we've got a 21s and an 18s and an academy, to look for local talent. Because the comments are, where are the players from Stafford? My answer is, they're at Brompton and Stafford Town, at step 6. Because anybody who's decent at football in Stafford, believe you me, by the age of 10, 11 or 12, they've gone. They're at Wolves, they're at Albion, they're at Port Vale, they're at Stoke, they're elsewhere. Because that's the scouting network of that quality of footballer, of that club. And we've got to try and generate. We're trying to do things with Andy Turner, who's not here today, our academy manager, to create an elite pathway in our junior setup, so that the best footballers in Stafford play for Stafford Rangers. That we don't just have teams in Stafford Rangers shirts who are run by parents and mates with kids that they know. That's all well and good, that's great for football, but we want the best footballers from the age of 10, 11, 12 in Stafford playing for Stafford Rangers. So ultimately, those that we can keep hold of can go into Matt's first team, or, you know, and we've got, let's not forget, we've got Jack Sandell, been in the first team now, in and around the first team for 18 months. He's 17 years of age, remember. Let's not forget that, he's 17. We also had Lewis Keeling came on the pitch last week for a 5-minute cameo, another academy student. We've got another academy player who's just gone out to Atherstone Town for some game time to learn the adult game. He's only 18. And that's what we're trying here, to create a, you know, to find those gems in Stafford, that if we can't keep them because they've gone to Wolves, can we get the next best one? Can we get them playing here? But it's a thankless task, because in the main, you won't want me saying this, they won't be good enough. That's the sad, you know, yeah, they will play at Brockton and they will play at Stafford Town and they will play at Eccleshall, but it's 3 steps lower than us. It's amateur football. You know, it's the next level up from Sunday, and that's where they're at, and they play for nothing, and yeah, they'll have good times and they'll have bad times, but that's where your majority of Stafford lads are playing, because that's the quality. We want something else, you know. And have I overrun that question, or does it?
So I'd say, touching on, you want to get more kids involved, you come on Saturday.
Yeah.
So very well, at £4, I think, for kids to come into this ground is way too much. I mean, have you thought about doing like, I don't know, kids for free on a Saturday or anything like that, just getting more involved?
Well, you've got to draw the final. You've got to look at what all the clubs do in the league. You've got to look at the mandate. See, Radcliffe last year, Radcliffe let kids in for free. They had the biggest problem with trouble in their ground. Well, kids, we can look into that, but historically not many kids come here with a paying adult.
I'm trying to get off, so I'll run, I'd go on the
Right.
level, so I'll come down,
Yeah.
parents, I'm not paying that, that's the football.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, we'll look into it, but again, it's kind of like, how many kids do we actually have coming? What are they paying? You know, other clubs charge £5 for kids. We charge 4.
You know, kids will talk at schools. That's what I mean. They'll say, "Oh, it's only £1 to get in there. Come with us." And it can escalate like that, can't you?
It can. The downside is, like we had all the trouble with the under-18s last year when kids were £1.
You can't look on the downside. Look on the positive side.
I do look on the positive side.
You know, to pay him for just turning up on a Saturday. Obviously, Derek hasn't been playing football for a bit, and we did have him registered. But again, we're big on, in terms of, because we pay the players, we've got to be able to, you know, they've got to turn up for Tuesday, Thursday, and play Saturday. Derek can't do that. He can only just rock up on the Saturday. Now, if I'm having players on my squad and things like that at this moment in time, just rocking up on a Saturday and playing, and I'm asking other players who sometimes are on non-contract, who are turning up, don't get paid, and trying to do all the right things, and just players are just rocking up and playing, you start having that issue. It's okay towards the end of the season in terms of just filling that gap towards the end, but I can't have players just rocking up on a Saturday, do what they want during the week, rock up on a Saturday and go and play football, like start the game, not let alone just, you know, come in and be on the bench. So if we're signing, we're committed to the club that we're here for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And like you say, he hasn't been playing or doing much. Yes, could I just chuck him in and that? It would be a big gamble, big risk. But I just think to the detriment at this moment in time, at the start of the season, it's just, I can't ask lads to be committed to come to these days and someone else just turning up and playing and getting their full money. It's as much as you'll say, it's not fair and people will grumble. And, you know, I remember when Fernie had that sort of, you know, issue with play, because you're committed, you know, what do I need to do? I'm here, I'm training and that, and he just rocks up and plays. It just starts straight away off of a ripple effect, and I don't want that. So that's the reason why.
What do you want to see from us as supporters?
Well, you've been fantastic. Listen, you know, win the lottery and maybe share a little bit for the club. That'd be great and much appreciated. Listen, I just want you to support the lads. It is up to us, and it is up to my staff and the players to, you know, to produce. But when we're playing, to encourage them right the way through, you know, being that positivity to them, because again, you know what it's like when you're not winning games. You are a little bit anxious. I never to try and give them all that freedom. You know, it's football. Go and enjoy it. You know, relax and go and play. But at the same time, you've got to be nasty. You've got to be horrible. But as a fan, listen, you're all here, so it just shows how much you care about the club and want to ask questions and know. Hopefully, it's helped. Maybe it come away and it still hasn't answered the questions. You still might not be happy, but you know, I won't. You know, might not be able to tick all the boxes. But all I do ask is just continue to support the club, and if there's any other ideas or how we, like you said again, for generating money or bringing more kids in, or you know, like I say, listen about the formation, this, that, and the other. Take it all in. You know, I'm happy to try to share that. But like I say, as long as we do it in the correct manner and you know, we speak. You know, I'm respectful to, you know, again at Macclesfield when, you know, everyone's unhappy, and I'm happy to still go over and listen to comments. I'm never that, you know, I'm not an arrogant person to go, well, I know and you don't, and what, as I said, we're all in it together. So if you're happy, speak. I'm willing to listen, and you know, whether I take it on board or not, it's still my decision at the end of the day. But we are pulling in the same direction. We all want this club to be successful. I want this club to be successful, and again, I go back to it on a selfish point of view. I want to be successful. I would love to have an opportunity to go up higher and manage and say this was, you know, my stepping stone. And I think Darren asked me the question about, you know, am I learning as a manager? Well, yeah, I'm learning as a manager, because it's nice when everything's going well and it's up, but it's not going well now, and it's my test of character to go, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to down tool and feel sorry for myself, or, you know, work even harder to try and, like you say, try and get better quality? We only have the Saturday, we only have the Tuesday, Thursday, hour and a half to, you know, to work on the players and try and drip feed some information. You know, we are working, like you say, as hard as we can to, you know, to put things right, to make it right, to make this club right. So, you know, all I can say to you guys is like I say, thank you for the support. I know you may be annoyed with myself at this moment in time, and that's fine. But, you know, I am personally, they are trying so hard for you guys. At Macclesfield, when, you know, everyone's unhappy, and I'm happy to still go over and listen to comments. I'm never that, you know, I'm not an arrogant person to go, well, I know and you don't, and what, as I said, we're all in it together. So if you're happy, speak. I'm willing to listen, and you know, whether I take it on board or not, it's still my decision at the end of the day. But we are pulling in the same direction. We all want this club to be successful. I want this club to be successful, and again, I go back to it on a selfish point of view. I want to be successful. I would love to have an opportunity to go up higher and manage and say this was, you know, my stepping stone. And I think Darren asked me the question about, you know, am I learning as a manager? Well, yeah, I'm learning as a manager, because it's nice when everything's going well and it's up, but it's not going well now, and it's my test of character to go, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to down tool and feel sorry for myself, or, you know, work even harder to try and, like you say, try and get better quality? We only have the Saturday, we only have the Tuesday, Thursday, hour and a half to, you know, to work on the players and try and drip feed some information. You know, we are working, like you say, as hard as we can to, you know, to put things right, to make it right, to make this club right. So, you know, all I can say to you guys is like I say, thank you for the support. I know you may be annoyed with myself at this moment in time, and that's fine. But, you know, I am personally, they are trying so hard for you guys.
Yeah, just a simple one. I just said with the better clubs for the area, like the Wolves and Stoke and everything,
Yeah.
their scouting system picks up all the
Yeah.
players. Do we have any sort of scouting system going in the lower leagues? Obviously, you're in Preston,
Yeah.
and etc. and everything else. We
Yeah.
haven't got anything to. I'll look at the old leagues. See, is there anybody that's just standing out over there?
We don't really have a scouting network, no. In terms of, like you say, again, knocking on the door, I've been down to Wolves, I've asked them the question. I think apparently, the Premiership still, in some other clubs you can do like the youth loan and have a month to month. Apparently in the Prem they don't not allowed that. They've got to take them for the full year season or till Christmas. The other thing is as well, when we've spoken to Birmingham and Wolves as well, Birmingham and West Brom, they believe that we're too low in terms of standard for their players. So we've had that one as well. So again, the players, when you're saying about the network, and Fernie's saying,
looking at lower, the league below, like
Yeah.
Ensford, Chasetown, and what have you.
yeah,
Have they got anything that we could? Chasetown at the moment, I think they're in promotion. They're the way they're going.
yeah. I think,
Ensford itself are struggling a little bit.
yeah,
Do we have anybody that looks at the lower league? Just you go down one step.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that's shining out that could maybe?
yeah. If I'm honest, no, I don't. We don't really have, people that are, going around looking at these games. Maybe if we have friends that know that, top goal scorer in here or whatever. I remember Jamie Slay obviously come in, scored 90 odd goals and whatnot in the lower league, and then came here and we all had some high hopes, but struggled because of the level. It's if you're in a good team. I'm just saying, if you're in a good team and you're smashing goals in and you're doing well and the league's not so good, we think flipping hell. But then he goes up and steps up a level. It's like, and we don't know. Listen, until he does that. So
your own son's the same principle on that. Until he stepped up that level, we didn't know how he was going to play.
yeah, exactly. And like today, I don't personally. I don't want to tell Tyler off the record, but I don't think he's ready for us. I don't think he's ready for us. I don't. And I'll be interested when I go up to watch him to see. I think he can compete, and he's yeah. Well, listen, Blackburn, they're not as good as us. But no. So with Tyler, listen. He's 17. He'll be 18 in December, but I think physically, yeah, potentially. But again, emotionally, psychologically, all the other bits, he's still got a bit of learning and consistency with his own body. Bless him. He just come back from glandular fever. So
from a director's point of view, could you just clarify that no director at Stafford Rangers takes a penny?
Yes.
On Facebook, people saying that directors that are milking the club, one guy did, he's obviously brain dead. I don't know if he's coming from here today.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk.
John, you raised a very good
clarify,
point. Yeah.
since you've been here,
Yeah.
how much has any director ever took from Stafford Rangers?
Nothing.
Not a penny piece.
Nothing. It's all voluntary. That's non-league football for you. Always with a bigger budget than Stafford Rangers.
Yeah.
Right? Without a shadow of a doubt. And we've got to be genuine. We've got to run this club in the black. So we can't do. Let me say about this. Let me say about two guys that I became friendly with that owned a club 9 miles down the road. Hayden Dando and Graham Jones. Right? They spent a fortune with Ensford last season of their personal money to keep that club in that division, paying a budget literally twice as much as Stafford Rangers, and they got relegated.
Well, look at Ensford.
Right? And they, that's what can go wrong. They were trying to keep up with the Joneses of that division. People have said to me, "Oh, we'd be better off in the Central Division." Why would we be better off in the Central Division? Right? It's all the same. It's you've got big spenders like Stourbridge, Ensford, Tamworth, Rushall that have moved up a league now. All clubs like that will never be the biggest spenders.
It would be the same, I think. I don't know.
And let me just dispel a myth as well, because people go, "Oh, it's our decision to go in the Central Division." No, it isn't. The decision is the FA's decision, and it's based on geography, and it's based on promotion and relegation from the leagues above and below, and the FA has the final say. And I know a few seasons ago people say it's based on north and south in the NPL. No, it isn't. It's based on the proximity of your club to the majority of clubs in the league. And the other season when Was it Baseford and Mickletover got moved and we stayed, and everyone's going, no, we're going to get moved because we're further south. No, we stayed north because actually the majority of clubs are on the west coast and they were within an hour of Stafford. So, but if we get moved, it won't be Matt's decision, it won't be mine, it won't be the board. The FA will go, you're in the Central Division. That's it. We have the right to appeal that decision, but if they move us, they move us. I just wanted to dispel that myth because a lot of people saying, oh, we'd be better off in the Central. I wouldn't count your chickens based on what we know. Based on what we know. Apologies for that if that's... Okay. Are there any further questions for me or for Matt? Because sorry.
Got maybe one.
Yeah.
I see a lot of other teams in this division, maybe and below, have regular match highlights. I'm not saying you have to do every game, but you know the guys they can go away and work and so. Well, the majority of fans can't go to that. Is there some way we can set up maybe live stream, charge £1, get it filmed, and put it on YouTube? Stuff like that?
It's illegal. It's illegal to live stream a game.
What about just match highlights then? I don't seem to do that.
Well, our contract at the moment with the MPL is to provide the footage to the MPL, which we do.
Yeah.
And they
Just the goals.
just the goals.
We actually spoke about trying to have the highlights of the game at the club on the Saturday, on the match day. So again, we spoke with Roy. We were hoping to have had a university that were talking about coming in and doing a bit of video and that. But again, we were speaking about putting the game on. So like people come in earlier, and we have the highlights of the game, of the previous game. That was a conversation. We never really sort of followed up, but that was a conversation in terms of having it out in-house so people weren't there, they can come in earlier, sit and watch and chill out. Hopefully there was some good clips on there, a good game to watch. But if that's an opportunity to do, or maybe something to look at, we'll readdress it again just to sort of say, right, okay, on a Saturday, 12 o'clock, the previous game is on, we'll try and upload it in, because we've got a nice new screen in that new room over there. So again, why not have one of the games highlighted, on there.
Exactly, it's a small thing, because
yeah, no, it's it.
Sometimes we're relying on other teams or have it on the YouTube, and or it just doesn't get shown at all. For example, we've got a few away games coming up. Some fans who won't be able to go to them won't see nothing for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes it boils down to resource and volunteers and whatever. Who's going to clip the highlights? Who's going to do it? Who's going to put it up there? Yeah. That's sometimes what it boils down to. Yeah. That's sometimes what it boils down to.
Maybe have a look at, like you say, go back and
Any other questions, lads? Because am I getting a beer in?
Yeah, you get
yeah. No, listen. I'd just like to summarise this and say, everybody in this room is frustrated with the current results and the current league table. Everybody's got a passion for Stafford Rangers. Me included, because people go, somebody said to me at Radcliffe, oh, you're not even from Stafford. No, I'm from Rugeley. So what does that mean? I've grown a passion for this football club in the 6 seasons I've been here, and I've gone on record to say this is my last football club that I'll be involved with. Happens to be the closest to my house, which is another thing, which is good. But we're all in it together. Thank you for being passionate fans of Stafford Rangers. I believe we've got one of the best managers around to get us through this adversity and get us back on track. And I know a lot of managers, and I look at plan Bs, I have to, and I don't see one out there that's smacking me in the face saying we can do better than what we've got. And I think we have to back what we've got and stick with it together and get the results right and do it in the right way. And honestly, I'm always here on match days. If anybody wants to ask me anything at any stage, they can do. I'm totally approachable at any time. You might not like what I tell you, but I'm approachable. But what I don't want to see is what we've seen in the last few weeks, where personal abuse and even threats, it's not acceptable. you know, especially against volunteers who work tirelessly to keep this football club afloat. And I'd always say, the more that we can get.
I agree with what, I know you wasn't there, I was there. There's nobody in this room actually, I would say, would agree with what happened with Matt and the disabled areas. I won't put names in this, but well, there's nobody in the room that will agree with that anyway. We all disagree with that, and we all think the club have made the right decision in buying the 3 people involved between that and the Radcliffe. Which I didn't go to.
Yeah, I was at the Radcliffe game, and that was not a nice evening.
And here alone was enough to me, the battle. And I believe Radcliffe caused more problems as well. And the real thing is that I have heard on the grapevine that a director was actually scared of Radcliffe, of their own fans. Now that to me is unacceptable in any football or any sport really. And I'm glad the club have done what they've done. And to make it, I don't know, you can't make it safer as such, we could, but it costs more money. So it's up to all of us lot to stamp this out. And when you see anything niggling, just have a word with them. Especially as we go the youngsters. Some of the youngsters are given a lot of this. The stewards go and tell them, they shut up, steward walks away, and they start again. And they do a bunch around and just cut back it in there. You see, that's for all of us to do.
So you're saying we need scary stewards as well?
Yes.
Barry full time, you mean?
Yeah. But that is what I would say, and I believe that the overall would agree with this as well. And all the people, I would say, was very much unacceptable.
I think I'm aware of a particular incident at the game I wasn't at on the Saturday, and I'm certainly aware of it at Radcliffe as well, where one of our players was physically assaulted at both games by our own fans. That is not acceptable in any way, shape or form.
Nothing, no, none of it does.
And
but
you know,
in all forms of life, you do get that little element. And luckily, well, I can't say we've dealt with it, but we have dealt with it and sorted it, and hopefully it will return. In 10 years' time, it will return in some other form.
Anyway,
let's. On a positive note,
yes,
yes.
I can't remember the last time we got to the second round of the trophy. Not in the last 10 years, I'll tell you. I can't remember. I've been following the Rangers since 1968. It's a long time ago. Somebody might be able to tell me, but in the last 10 years, we haven't got there. Because I asked Chris.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Ain't all bad, is it?
No, it's not all bad.
No.
The furthest we've got in 10 years. Might be more.
And when you suggested that guy, a fan that abused that player, is he a fan or is he a hooligan? What is he?
No.
He's not a fan, is he? How's he a fan? Why would a fan abuse a player of the team he supports? That don't make him a fan.
Why would a fan?
Does he come and drink and support the club in the bar, weekdays or anything like that? Ever? All these fans that come and pay their money to watch the football, is that where it ends? Is that where it stops there? Is that the line they draw?
I was on a positive note.
Well, it's just a suggestion. We've got 150 grand worth of shares if anybody wants any. So I just thought I'd mention it while you're all here.
Listen, just for the last bit from myself, for it disappear.
Get to Nantwich.
Yeah, I need to get to Nantwich. Yeah. I just want to thank you. Thank you all for turning up. I remember I said this to Darren. You know, we did this. I think it was earlier last season, was it, or a season before? And we didn't really have that many people turn up, and it's great, obviously, that you're all here. Just proves how passionate you are about the club. And listen, I do take on board everything that's been said in terms of plan A, plan B, you know, way we kick, you know, inverted winners, balance, way we play. You know, that M6, when I have to travel up an hour and a half and all the other bits, 2 hours sometimes in traffic, it gives me a chance just to digest and everything that goes on after games, after training, the lot, in terms of how can I be better, how can I make this team better. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up by saying I will try my absolute plums, as I have done from the minute one. Bernie and the rest of the board gave me the opportunity. I don't want to waste this opportunity. I really don't. Trust me, I really don't. I really want to be successful. And like I say, we'll continue to work hard, try and keep encouraging the lads, trying to get more consistency, and hopefully along the way get better results. So the next time we organise another, hopefully a get together, it's more of a positive and more things of how we can still improve the squad, the environment, you know, the kids, everything. All right, so you know, from me again, thank you very much, and hopefully have a nice afternoon. No football to watch. I don't know if your Sky Sports on or something like that, a game on to watch now. But yes, from me, thank you very much for taking the time.